What up, my G's? It's the boy Rich. We're back with another 6v6 Pokemon battle for the channel against the homie Brendan. Sorry ahead of time about my voice. I am super sick. I don't even know if you guys can honestly tell. I mean, I'm monotone as crap, but I am very sick right now and kind of struggling to get words out. But I still wanted to go ahead and get a Pokemon battle out because, like I said in my last videos, this stuff is just really fun to me. It makes me feel really happy. So here I am right now. I am out of my comfort zone battling the homie Brendan to an OU Pokemon battle. If you guys watch my previous vids, you guys probably know I am very afraid of this tier because I feel like a Pokemon, you know, gets a DD up or they get a Quiver Dance up and then I just get ran. That's how it happens most of the time. But at the same time, this tier holds some of my favorite Pokemon ever, like Latios. It has Diggersby, which I love this Pokemon. I don't understand why he's in this tier, but he's here, and this is the only time I get to use him. My all-time favorite Pokemon is, you know, Charizard X, and he's not on the team, but I mean, he's in this tier. So I mean, I'm just trying my hand at OU. I also really wanted to see what Zero Aura was about. This Pokemon looks absolutely amazing. His moveset looks absolutely amazing. I didn't feel off top that he would have been, you know, right for OU. Like, I thought maybe he'd be like in the UU tier, but this was just kind of me testing him. I have a Zero Aura on my team. My opponent has a Zygarde on his team. He has like a Heatran. I mean, we both got teams definitely full of threats. He has some Pokemon I don't really know. Like, I don't know. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and hop into it. So, looking at his team, I really wasn't too sure, like I said, what any of his Pokemon were about. I've never battled anybody using a Manaphy before, although I do know that thing tail glows. I pretty much know how Zygardes are run. They're either Choice Band or they just Dragon Dance and kill your whole line. So I definitely got to watch out for that, because if he Dragon Dances, then I am just going to get wrecked. But my opponent starts out with the Mew, you know, leading me to believe that this thing is trying to get like Stealth Rocks up. But even worse than that, he actually has the Will-O-Wisp, and he Will-O-Wisp my Tapu Bulu, which luckily for me, this isn't like the most typical Tapu Bulu set that you probably see. Like, I'm not really saying like I even know how this Pokemon is just ran like that, but I mean, I'm running like dual screens on him to you know, just try to make my team really bulky. But my opponent Willows me, then he just goes for the Ice Beam right after I got my light screen up, so it's not going to be doing too much. And I definitely understand why Mew has Ice Beam. I mean, I feel like, funny enough, Landorus is the most used OU Pokemon easily, but at the same time, just everything in the tier has like an ice move, whether it be like Hidden Power Ice, Ice Beam, like things. Even Landorus have Hidden Power Ice, like, and it's just gotten that bad with Landorus. So I just think that's really funny. But back to the battle, I just feel like I wasted my Tapu Bulu completely, at least these first 3 turns, trying to get these screens up, because he just defogged away my screens altogether, and I'm burned. And I am obviously just fighting such a losing battle. This could just be really stally, because he's not really hurting me all too much either, but at the same time, I'm really not hurting him. And my only other move is the superpower, so I'm just not doing too much damage to this thing at all. So my opponent actually decides to hard switch into his Blacksmith, as I actually decided to swap out this turn as well into my Magearna. I honestly thought this Heatran would be coming out a little bit earlier, seeing as how it's like the ultimate check to a Tapu Bulu. Kinda, I mean, I do have superpower, but I'm burned, so he just absolutely checks me anyway. So I had swapped out into my Magearna, but then I had to swap right back out because my Magearna absolutely can't do anything to the Heatran. So I decided to go ahead and go into my Diggersby, which is Assault Vested. I thought he'd be able to take that Magma Storm way better than he did, and now I'm trapped in it and I'm getting hurt, and this is just really unfortunate. It got to, you know, I'm not sure if I'm able to take a whole nother Magma Storm with my HP being this low, but I am going to go ahead and click the Earthquake, scaring this guy out. Sorry, I didn't even click the Earthquake. I'm sorry. I knew he'd be swapping out, so I wanted to go ahead and go for the knockoff. I'm sorry about that. So I thought this Mew might come out, and I just wanted to go ahead and knock off whatever item he was holding. So I was able to go ahead and knock off his leftovers, and looking at his HP, I thought I'd be able to kill him with a quick attack, but just literally the most frustrating thing in the world happened. It looks like he lived on like 3 HP, then he just roosted up on me, and I was like, great, this is literally about to get followed by a Will-O-Wisp. Then my bunny is about to just get, you know, weakened just like my Tapu Bulu. So now my Diggersby is out here, he's burned, and now his HP, I mean his attack power is probably what it should be, since like burns cut your attack in half, and his pure power like doubles it or whatever. So now it's kind of like balanced out or whatnot. But anyway, my Diggersby can't really stay in here. Not that I can really use him anymore in this battle, because a burn Diggersby is like, as much as I hate to say it, not really worth too much in this battle to me at this point. So I figured my opponent would be using this turn to go ahead and roost up with his Mew, which is why I felt so comfortable swapping into my Yakuza, my shiny Greninja, and I figured he'd most likely be swapping out anyway into this Clefable, because this thing is most likely his special defense wall for the team. Not like that this Hydro Pump would have killed that Mew or anything, but I mean, he has a Clefable, so I definitely understand why he has this. But I'm about to show you guys why Clefables aren't safe in front of my Yakuza. I do run Gunk Shot because this is a dual attacking Greninja, so yeah, I decided to go ahead and go for that. Don't really know what this Clefable was about to come out here and do, but now we're not even going to get the chance to see, because he was not able to live that Gunk Shot. Luckily for me, I was able to even get that attack off. Half the time you use that attack, like you guys know, it just does not hit. But my opponent decided to go into this Weavile. I know this Pokemon is faster than me, at least I believe so. So I'm just going to go ahead and try to swap out into my Diggersby to try to sack him off. And to my surprise, my opponent pursues me, leaving me on like 11 HP, which is just absolutely horrible. Like, that was horrible. Like 11 HP, like I can't even survive if my opponent somehow gets rocks up. So like that just absolutely sucks. And then on top of that, like I wasn't even able to get my following quick attack off because he has the Ice Shard, which is faster than me. So like now he just got major damage and then killed the Death Father that I was choosing out anyway. This Weavile is just putting work in on my team. Like I absolutely have to kill him, but I was like, you know what, this seems like the perfect time for my Zero Aura to come out. I know he has a Zygarde on his team, but I decided to go for the Plasma Fist anyway, because if he wanted to choose him out, I do have the Hidden Power Ice. And yeah, I know most people probably have a good idea. I'm pretty sure like everybody's running the same Zero Aura set, I feel like. So I can definitely see my opponent didn't want to just go ahead and swap out into the Zygarde, you know, right away anyway, just on the off chance I did that. But I went for this cool looking Plasma Fist. It hurt that Mew, did some really good damage, was able to kill him with 2 of them, like, and that's a really, really strong move, like showing me that that Mew was definitely defensive, kind of, I don't know, like I feel like I should get a Mew like that. Like that Mew was just tanking so many attacks from all of my Pokemon. I mean, he was taking Earthquakes, Plasma Fists, knockoffs, Horn Leeches. Like this Mew was just out here eating everything from my team. But I was able to go ahead and luckily knock him out. My opponent swaps in with this Heatran, leading me to believe that he was Focus Sash. I did not want to hit this thing with a close combat, and then he hit me with like a Magma Storm, because I feel like that definitely would have killed me. So I made a weird play and swapped out into my Tapu Bulu, which like I said is just really weird, because this is definitely not a check to this Heatran, and I was able to go ahead and dodge that Magma Storm, getting my light screen up. And since I got my light screen up, I know I'm gonna be able to survive another Magma Storm and get my Reflect up. And since that Mew is gone, I don't even have to worry about him defogging me. So I was really, really happy. I was really lucky, I'm not gonna lie right there, because my guy definitely would not have been able to survive that initial Magma Storm, and I just would have got bodied right there. But sorry, like I said, guys, I'm super sick, but I'm trying. I am able to get both of my screens up. I got the Light Clay, so both of them are going to be up for 8 turns. So my team's about to be really, really bulky for the next 8 turns. So I'm really, really happy about that. My opponent's just going to keep going for Protect right here, knowing that he can just knock me out. But he's going to go ahead and go for the Protect to try to stall out my turn. Stall out my light screen and my Reflect. Sorry about that. He's trying to stall out my screens as much as he possibly can, because those are just really, really annoying to deal with, as I'm over here getting HP from my grassy terrain, but at the same time getting bodied by this freaking Magma Storm. But my opponent's gonna go ahead and swap out this Zygarde. Now that he sees I don't have the Dazzling Gleam, I'm sure he's like getting really, really excited at the fact that I'm not really going to be able to hurt this thing all too much, especially me being burned. Like, there's just like nothing I can do to this Zygarde, and he's probably thinking this is just the perfect time to go ahead and Dragon Dance up, but I am not going to let that happen. So either one of two things are about to happen. He's going to be choice banned, and he's going to go for a really, really strong extreme speed, or he's, like I said, going to go ahead and use this opportunity to Dragon Dance up, seeing as how he's just very, very safe at this moment. But I'm going to go ahead and hard switch into my Latios, hoping that he does not have the outrage, which if he did have the outrage or whatever dragon move Zygardes typically go for, I do still have the reflect up, and I am choice scarfed, and I believe my opponent knows that, which is why he decides to go ahead and hard switch his Zygarde out. I know that's probably the most typical set for the Latios, which funny enough, I typically run like Mega Latios because I think that Pokemon looks super cool, even though it's the same thing as Mega Latios. But I just decided to go for the Draco Meteor. I wasn't trying to play any games with that Zygarde, even though I knew he was going to go ahead and swap out into this Blacksmith. But on the upside here, if this thing was focus sashed right here, I did just break his sash, and I did get a critical hit. So that's why I did so much. My Latios is just out here doing the most of work. We really, really, really wanted to body that Zygarde, but I just make another weird play. I swap my Tapu Bulu back out into this Heatran. I figured my opponent was probably just going to go for the Protect anyway. I was trying to send him in initially for Death Fodder, but my opponent is just really, really keen on trying to waste out my Light Screen and my Reflect, which I really just don't blame him. I'd be doing the exact same thing. But my guy's just going to come out, get some HP from the grassy terrain again. It's going to keep me alive from this burn because it just keeps kind of balancing out. And I'm just going to go ahead and make another swap right here because I figured my opponent would try to, go for the double Protect right here just to, make sure that the screens were leaving. So I just kind of, I made a really good play right there. I was really happy I made that prediction because I was really not trying to waste my Greninja as like Death Fodder or anything like that, but I'm not trying to play any more games with this thing. If he wants to try to go for a Protect again, I'm bringing out the big guns. So funny, this Greninja, I have this move. Let me go ahead and wait for the animation to come up. It's a Z move. I'm hitting him with the Z ground move right here, the little Tectonic Rage, I believe. Is that what it's called? Let's wait for the words to come up because I just am not thinking straight right now. Yeah, it's the let's look. Yeah, the Tectonic Rage. See, I was right, guys. See, I'm sorry. I'm just over here dying right now. But I was hitting him with the Tectonic Rage. He swaps into his Manaphy thinking I'm probably going to try to hit like a Hydro Pump. Not the case. I was really, really trying to body that Heatran right there, but I was really happy that at the same time that I was able to hit this Manaphy because this is also another Pokemon that I'm just really not trying to play with. And just like that Clefable from earlier in the battle, I do just follow up my attack with a Gunk Shot. The whole reason that I have Tectonic Rage on my Yakuza, my Greninja, is because there was a time when every OU battle I played, people would always bring their Magearnas and with the assault vest on them, and they just go ahead and hard switch thinking that they just wall out my Greninja, and I just had that on them just to show them that that's not what's gonna happen. So that's the whole reason I have it. The move that I have is Dig. It always for some reason throws people off. It threw my opponent off when I used it, but my opponent makes the obvious play. He goes back into his Weavile and just kind of flexes on my Greninja. He knows that I know he has the pursuit from earlier, and so I'm not going to be able to swap out into, my Magearna like I really wanted to, and he just goes for the knockoff just to show that he's got his prediction game on point. But now that my Greninja's dead, I am just going to go back into the initial Pokemon that I have on the team to kill this Weavile, my Zero Aura, and I'm just going to go ahead and Fire Punch this thing and destroy him. So that Weavile was, really, really pesky, just out here destroying my Pokemon. I'm glad I was able to kill that thing. Zygarde is just, not Zygarde, this Zero Aura is just super stupid fast. So, Weavile is just a fast Pokemon, and this guy was just stupid fast. Like I said, this Pokemon is amazing, and he sends out his Zygarde. I decided to go for the Hidden Power Ice, knowing darn well this thing can absolutely kill me right here. But I do kind of put some pressure on my opponent, and I'm deciding to go for a bold play right here. I hit him with the Hidden Power Ice, hoping he would go for the Dragon Dance. Then I decided to go ahead and hard switch out right here, sacking off my Tapu Bulu. I know my Tapu Bulu must hate my guts right here. This is like the 5th time this battle I feel like I've tried to use him as death fodder, and luckily for me, my opponent actually does just go for the 1,000 arrows. If he would have went for like Outrage or anything else, like or extreme speed or something like that, like I feel like that would not have worked out as much for me. Or I'm sorry, I just needed my Tapu Bulu to die right here, honestly, so I can bring my Latios in here. And since my guy is Choice Scarfed, my opponent still knows that, and he knows that he's gonna have to swap out right here. So he goes back out into his Blacksmith, his Heatran, to try to hit another Draco Meteor, which I was just going for. Like I said, I'm not playing no games with this thing at all. I can't play any games with this Blacksmith. I can't play any games with that Zygarde, because like I said, most of the time when I play these OU battles, they just Dragon Dance up, but then I just get ran down. So luckily I was able to get those predictions right, because those were honestly pretty key right there. So now that he swapped out, I feel really comfortable. I am just going to go ahead and swap out into my Magearna right here, just to kind of sack him off, because, you know, now that he doesn't have the Weavile or anything, I don't feel like I need this Magearna too much. I would say that he's like really good to deal with the Zygarde, but I mean, honestly, if he was out here with the Zygarde, I would just get, you know, 1,000 arrowed or whatever that Zygarde did, and he'd kill me anyway. So he does go for the Magma Storm, which absolutely bodies my Magearna, but this is just kind of perfect because it kind of ends the battle right here, because now I got my Zero Aura, and he no longer has the Focus Sash. He is just going to go ahead and protect right here. Don't really know why, because he really doesn't have any plays. He couldn't swap back out into his Zygarde, and he also could not he definitely could not survive a close combat from my Zero Aura. Why I got the Life Orb, because while this Pokemon is also stupid fast, he's also dumb strong. Like, this Pokemon is definitely just an absolute boss right here. And I was really happy that I was able to get all 4 of his moves off. I got the Hidden Power Ice. I have the, you know, Plasma Fist. I have the Fire Punch, and the Close Combat was the last move that I had on him. And yeah, since I mean, my opponent could come out here and go for like the Extreme Speed, which is what I thought my opponent would go ahead and do, because I mean, if he didn't click the Extreme Speed, he really wouldn't get another attack off on my Zero Aura. But my opponent actually decides to go ahead and forfeit right there. I wouldn't have forfeited. I mean, that's if he had the Extreme Speed, because if that would have happened, I would have had to hit him with a Draco Meteor. And everybody knows that move misses a lot. So I don't know. I think he might have had Extreme Speed, but I wouldn't have forfeited right there personally. But either way, it was just a really, really good battle. The main reason why I uploaded this is because I wanted to showcase a Zero Aura and show him, you know, people what he could do in the tier, even though my opponent's not running like the most typical OU team with like the Swampers and the Pelipers and Tapu Kokos and stuff like that. Like, this was kind of just like a fun game me and him have. I always have fun playing Brandon. This dude beats me a lot. Like, he's such a great battler, and honestly, most of the time me and him play like lower tiers and stuff, but we both decided to come out of our comfort zones, or at least I did. And I actually had fun this one. I want to get more OU battles up. I've actually even started dabbling in Ubers and Little Cup too, so don't be surprised if you guys see me upload you know, one of those types of battles. It'll be interesting for both me and you guys. But anyway, thank you guys for staying this long, especially if you stayed throughout my stupid monotone and sick voice. Like, this stuff is super annoying. I know it is, but thank you guys so much. If you guys liked the video, go ahead and drop that like for me. If you guys are looking forward to future battles from me, or want a battle from me, you know, go ahead and drop a comment. But also subscribe, because yeah, if you don't, you guys probably won't see when I drop videos. But that's only if you're looking forward to it. Thank you guys so much. I will catch you guys in the next vid. Peace.